Hey guys, good evening. It's March 12th, 2019, and this is episode 9 of the Michael Boothby Show. And tonight, my guest is Travis Marsala. And Travis lives in Chicago. He is an improviser, a writer, a very talented illustrator, and also a puppeteer. And his newest project, which I've been helping out with some marketing stuff and with the blog and with editing, is called Sajja and Kabba. And Sajja and Kabba are two of the cutest puppets that I've ever met. And so it's an educational kids show that appears on YouTube. They have weekly videos, a weekly blog, and now they're actually branching out and doing events within the community as well. So it's pretty cool. I'm here right now in the community room at a Durango Joe's in Durango, Colorado, and Durango Joe's is it's like the local coffee chain here. So I'm just hanging out. Travis just joined the broadcast, so I'm going to bring him on right now. Adding Travis to the broadcast. It says it's adding. There he is.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, man?
How's it going? Are you in my house?
I am in your house.
Wow.
I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I see you're in the chair. You're in the comfy chair, and you've got all the puppets behind you.
Yeah. Do I need to adjust anything? You good?
I think it's good. Yeah, that's a good frame. Yeah. How you doing, man? How's your day been?
It's been pretty good, just doing the stuff and the things. Yeah. How's Colorado?
Oh, it's good, man. It's feeling kind of challenged this week. I'm feeling really homesick. I'm missing Chicago. I'm missing Sasha.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like bouncing from house to house with people here, which is hard. It's hard to kind of get into a routine. I've got a lot of projects I'm trying to work on and stay motivated. So feeling a little stretched, but at the same time, I'm like just trying to take in the whole experience.
Yeah, dude, that's great. I think it's super cool that you are so committed to what you're doing out there and this show, which you started. It's super cool to see you commit to this.
Yeah, it's tough. I'm really happy to be doing it. I've had some amazing conversations with people, and I really want to keep going. Even like before the end of the year, I want to have 100 shows done. So I know there's a lot to go, but I'm setting it. How's it going, Jorge? How's it going, Andrew, Sasha? Guys, if you're just tuning in now, press the like button, press the love button. If you really want to support, share this video onto your timeline so we can get more people watching and getting to know Travis. So wow, Travis, where to begin? Maybe let's start with Chicago. Why'd you move to Chicago and when? And how have you been?
I've been here about 6 years, I want to say, 5 or 6 years. I did a lot of improv in college, and I had a teacher really encourage me to come out here. And moved out here with some people I went to college with, and 6 years later, here I am, still doing the things.
Yeah. And
I don't think I fully answered your question, actually. I moved out here for like the comedy scene and the Second City and IO and all that jazz.
Yeah. And how many of those programs have you gone through?
I did the Second City Conservatory, did the IO improv program, is that what they call it? And CIC Theater, and those are all the ones I've done.
Nice, yeah, and Travis and I did CIC together. That was the first year I moved to Chicago, which was, I believe, 2016. Oh my gosh, it's already almost.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes by fast, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. And Travis is also a very talented writer. You have a sketch group called Not Your Mother's Baby. And
Yes.
I've seen some of the videos you guys put up, but you've also written several plays as well. I think the last one I saw was that Western you put on at
Mm-hmm.
Public House Theater.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like to try a little bit of everything. I think I think I'm pretty good at lots of things, and some people are very good at one thing. But
Yeah, yeah.
I like my choice better because it's more exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanna talk about like kind of your style and your inspiration as well, because to me you're one of the most interesting people I've met in Chicago. 'Cause I feel like you're right out of like one of those black and white 1920s films.
I don't know what you're
You know,
talking
you
about.
have exactly. It's like you have this style, and it's like it almost like beckons back to this older time, a simpler time. And where did that come about? Because and I see it kind of in all your work, and it's really lovely. It's very
Mm.
refreshing.
I think I just love simplicity. I don't know if I can pinpoint
Mm,
exactly where it comes from. I mean, I remember
mm,
listening to Frank Sinatra a lot. Those
mm.
were kind of like some of the first music I was introduced to was that kind of music. So I think it comes from there, um, and just I feel like it's such a hard thing to talk about the past because when you start digging deeper and you're like, oh, we actually have it better now. But there was
Yeah.
also like a degree of respect that was there back in the old days.
Mm.
People dressed up to get on airplanes because airplanes were still
Yeah.
special and you wanted to look your best.
You
And
could also smoke on airplanes back then.
you could, which I don't think I could handle that.
I don't think so either.
No. Yeah, it's a very interesting dichotomy because I was hanging out with I forgot who I was hanging out with, but we were
Mm.
talking about golden age syndrome and how you view past eras through these rose-colored glasses. And like,
Yeah.
man, I love the 50s. Everyone dressed nice. There was a degree of innocence. And then you start thinking about it and you're like, hmm, MLK was like 10 years later. So, man, it would have sucked to have lived back then and been African American. And there
Yeah,
was all the
right.
rampant racism. There was, women must be at home working in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, can we?
Yeah, a lot of
I'll take the
this
50s, but leave all that behind,
yeah. And I think you brought up a good point there, and it's really funny because I started writing a song yesterday that was like almost about the same subject. Hey Molly, how's it going? Feel free to like the video, love it, share it. Right now
Love
we're
it.
talking about the good old days, and because that's the song I started writing it's called "The Great Old Days," and I started writing this hook, and it went something. It was like. What was it about the good old days? They never stayed the same. Of
Hmm.
course, there's like cool drums, and then it comes back in. It's like, what was it about the good old days? Were they really that great? I think if they were, they would have called them the great old days. Because yeah, it's like it's always like yeah, oh, the good old days, and it's like really
Hmm.
though, were they that great? And I feel like especially right now we see in even in pop culture this lens of nostalgia. Like Stranger Things is like Ghostbusters meets Back to the Future meets The Goonies. And and like even like
Yeah.
Star Wars is coming, back. All these things that are like were really big in like the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and we're kind of recycling them. And it's like, why are we? Why? What is that about? This nostalgia, this longing for these
Um,
older times.
it's wow. We really like got into this quick.
Yeah,
I, I,
I
I
dive
think
deep.
we see it in our politics too. Is
Mm,
what Trump's slogan was: "Make America
make
Great Again."
America great again.
And he's
Not
banking on
good.
that.
Not
Not
good, but great.
great. but it's the again part, like he's like reaching back for something. And I
Yeah.
watch, and it's whereas Obama was hope and change, and I think what we're experiencing not only in politics but also in culture and everything. I watched this interview with Donald Glover, who I'm just in love with right now. Um, he was talking about nostalgia in pop culture, and he said it's because we're afraid. We're afraid of the future. We're afraid of change. And so now,
Yeah.
in our current political setting, we've like stretched this rubber band of hope and change, and now it's just like it's all snapping
Yeah.
back. And that's why
Yeah.
we lean on. That's why we get 50 million reboots of these shows from our childhood and these movies from our
Yeah.
childhood.
Yeah. Which is
That's
interesting.
my
'Cause I think it's
analysis.
indicative. Yeah, no, I love it, and I think it's indicative of kind of what's happening in our pop culture. It's a microcosm for what's happening on a grander scale, and this is what I believe is like we are in this time of very intense change where all of these older systems are breaking down, and you see the people at the top are kind of scrambling to kind of like get it in while it's still there because they know it's not sustainable. And so it's like almost you see that being propagated through this nostalgia, through these reboots, and it's like no, let's go back, and it's like but what if we instead embraced the unknown and embraced the future and created a future that was not out of fear, but out of love and trust and community. And that's one thing I think I'm trying to do with this show is inspire people to connect with each other and find ways to use technology to be vulnerable, to be authentic, to be heart-centered, and to really connect. Because I think, the internet, I think today actually, I think on Google I checked, it's like the 30-year anniversary of the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
And it's like, so we're still fairly new to this technology. And I still think it's like, even right now, it's like, I have to do this show like through Facebook. And it's like, what if I talked about this on episode 5 with my friend Abel, and it's like, what if we just created a platform where it was just this? It's just like a video. I guess they kind of had these like Omegle and that other one, Chat Roulette, but they were kind of failed.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't. But like, imagine if we had something like that and it was like intentional, and you could log in and you just be matched with something, and either there'd be like something for you guys to talk about, or it's like you can just talk about whatever, and so that way we can use the internet to like connect strangers and really express ourselves and connect with people. And that's kind of what I'm interested in, is like, how can we use this technology, this seemingly dehumanizing, depressing technology, you see all the depression caused from Facebook, Instagram, social media, and instead use it to inspire and connect. And I think we need more people like with that mindset to create these businesses that are mindful. Right now, I don't think we're seeing that with like Google and Facebook and Apple. It's very much the opposite, I feel.
Well, I feel like a couple things I want to talk about based off of that is first the anecdote. I was walking here to do this, and I passed that statue of Abraham Lincoln right outside Lincoln Square. And I was like looking at all the cars going by, and I was like, man, not only if he were alive today, if he just suddenly appeared, not only would you have to explain the mass ownership of vehicles, but you would have to also explain that combustion engines are phasing out and electric cars are now becoming a thing. That's like, and that's, he was, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth here. I'm going to get the date wrong. The 1800s. I'll just be safe and say the 1800s. That's not a lot of time. We landed on the moon, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. Martin Luther King Jr. Was active in the 60s. That's like 50 years ago. It's not a long time. Not a lot of time has passed, and we're dealing with a lot of stuff, and it's this rubber banded nostalgia. And to your other point, That's where like a lot of this stuff sprung out of was
Hey,
I
Travis, you're
saw.
breaking up a little bit.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm having a hard time understanding. The feed's kind of choppy, and you're coming in a little robotic. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why.
How's this? Is this better?
It's a little
Is
better.
this
Yeah.
better? Okay.
It's still
I can
kind of
change
choppy
headphone.
though. I don't know what happened.
Let me change my headphones real quick because it might be the bad ones.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yeah,
Good? Bad?
it's still a little robotic. I think it might be the connection.
Ah, dang. I don't know what I can
Which
do to fix that.
yeah, I don't know either. We'll just keep going. We'll just keep going, and if it's really hard, then we'll just work with it.
Well, okay. Dang. Um, you were talking about conscious companies, you know.
Yes.
And oh, Sasha says it sounds good. So that's good.
Yeah.
And that's where this Sajja and Kabba stuff came from. Was
Yeah.
I was watching one of my nieces on her iPad, and just the stuff she was watching was like, what the heck are you watching here? You know? And so I thought maybe let's start something that can be better. And so now I'm on a mission to like change the face of free kids media on the
Yeah.
internet. So yeah, there, you know, people are scared. They're holding on to what they know, and so it's going to be up to small creators, I think, small business owners, to really push for the change. To
Yeah.
be more
Yeah.
conscious.
Yeah. I agree because I think it's like a big thing in our country. We get so kind of riled up around elections. It's like, who did you vote for? And if you didn't vote, like you're part of the problem. It's like, sure, I know change can come from there, but I genuinely believe that the real change, it has to come from us. It has to come from the people. It has to come from people having the courage to create conscious companies, to choose to be an artist, to choose to be a comedian, to choose to be a musician, and through your media to infuse it with these messages of consciousness, because we're such a content-heavy culture, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
We love consuming content, and I do believe that people are hungry for conscious content. And I think it's a really easy way to spread these messages in a way that's not preachy, because it's like you're just living it. Like you making Sajja and Kabba is you living your vision, because I talked to Sasha, and it's like you've had this idea in your head for so long, and now it's like you're finally doing it, and you have episodes and episodes online, and now you're branching out into the community. You're doing like workshops and shows with schools and libraries and theaters and businesses, and it's like now it's like
Yeah.
you're becoming a member of this community, like another cell in the system. And I think it's so great too, like just what you're doing, and because I really do believe kids are our future, and kids are the first to be, I think, neglected in politics and policy. Like we don't ever think of children, and yet it's like maybe if we did, like
They're a
everything would
talking
be
point,
solved,
but yeah.
Yeah, but like no one actually gives a shit, and it's really sad.
Yeah, I agree. And also to that end, there's people who, on the subject of fear and nostalgia, who are rejecting technology. They're like, my kid's not allowed to watch, not allowed to have a phone, not allowed to be on the computer. And I get that
Yeah.
to some extent. But also, like, that's the future. Like, you might as well set them up for success with the new technology. And it's
I
on
agree.
us as responsible creators to have content for those kids who are learning this tech to consume.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, I don't think it's about banning your kids from smartphones and laptops, because exactly, they're going to be on there. I think as a parent and as a teacher, it's our job to teach boundaries and, right, proper practices and how to limit your time and how to balance your real-time face-to-face contact with your screen time. And I think that's something even a lot of adults right now are struggling with. And again, and that's like a big subject of my book, of how can we use dating apps in a way that's conscious and where it's like we're not treating each other, like these pieces of meat or literally like these cards. And maybe we can use that system though and really express ourselves and actually meet the kind of people who we want to hang out with and want to go on dates with and want to maybe even spend the rest of our lives with. I think, 'cause I do believe technology, it's such an incredible tool. It's like practically collective consciousness. It's almost telepathy, that you can just have an idea and you can pick up this phone and like a wand, like magic, you can just spread a message immediately out into the world and get responses and start a dialogue. It's magic.
Yeah, it's super cool. What do you think of there's that school of thought, like you can create something and put it online and it's out in the world. There's the other school of thought where now they think the refinement process is missing. Now you're not sitting with a piece of art, a piece of writing, painting, whatever it is, and letting it stew for a while and letting it percolate, What's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree with that to a certain extent. I do believe that with social media, kind of, with the introduction of like the feed, which is everywhere now. I mean, Twitter, Facebook. It's just you don't have social media without a news feed, an infinite scroll, and I definitely think that has shortened our attention spans. And I think a lot of the most successful content you see online now is catered to that. So it's short, with videos, it's shorter cuts. It's having subtitles so people can just be scrolling and immediately read it. So I think there's an evolution, but at the same time, I also do believe that great art can still be appreciated and still will be appreciated and may also, and can still be promoted through social media. And I think you can convince people to take the time to listen to an album or to watch a show or to watch a video. But I think now it's because there is so much content, it has to be really good. It has to really stand out. And that's what I say, with my dating book as well. It's now if you're doing online dating, it's you are kind of just a profile on a screen. And women or men will be swiping and have these short attention spans, but it's how can you use this? How can in one picture or one sentence, can you do something that just completely shocks that person into this present moment and makes them interested? So I think it's almost up the game of the creators, of the artists. And I think you have to constantly be challenging your audience, but in a good way, in a way that's intriguing and I didn't think of that before, or what's this about? I think maybe in the past you could afford to be lazy. I don't know. Maybe you never could afford to be lazy and be an artist. I don't think there's time, because even to make it as an artist, even with the internet, it takes a lot of hard work, and you have to be prolific. Like my friend Chris Rush always says, it's the best artists, they just never stopped. It's that Andy Samberg movie, pop star never stop, never stopping. And it's but it's so true though. Because if you keep going with Sajja and Kabba, a year from now, even maybe it's I'm still not where I want to be. But if you have 500 videos online, no one can deny that. And when people go, Travis, what have you done? You can go, here's my channel. Here's 300 videos of amazing content for your kids. And it's and I think that's hard to ignore. And I think it was Steve Martin who said that. It was if you're going to do comedy, you have to be so good that people can't ignore you. And I love that. And I think it's even more important now, more than ever.
Yeah, and I think something that plays into that more than being shocking even is just being your most honest self.
Being authentic.
Yeah, this show has been the most honest expression of who I am, I would like to think. And I think that's where its window of 7-month success has come
Yeah.
from. It has by far been the most wide shared thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
So I think it's that honest expression of, I saw something I wanted to change. I think puppets are cool and hilarious, and they are often done wrong.
Yeah. Like that movie that came out recently, the puppet
Yeah.
one with Melissa McCarthy. I don't.
I'll just say it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And this show is weird, man. Like it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Our show is bizarre.
It's getting kind of trippy.
It's
The rainbow
kinda trippy.
wrap. I've even seen the space stuff, and it's real cool. I think it's amazing.
And I think that bizarreness is a very honest expression of myself and other people who are working on it. I got weird friends like Sasha. I know you're watching. You're kind of weird. Like
Sasha's so weird.
And
It's a lovable
like-
weird though.
Billy, who does Sajja, his sense of humor is so weird, but it's 100% him. And I think people pick up on that. People know when you're lying.
Yeah,
Inherently.
yeah. And I think that's probably the most beautiful thing about the internet. And I think I talked about this on 2 shows ago with Heather. And she said it's like with the internet, you can be so weird and but then you find the other weird people who are just as weird as you, and they see you being weird and like, oh my God, this person gets me. And I think,
Yeah.
weird is amazing. Like, fuck normal. What is normal? Normal means you're conforming to the cultural conditioning, which is not you, and that, which means it's boring and it's derivative. And who wants that?
Normal
No one
means
wants that.
norm.
Norm, exactly.
Yeah.
You're controlled.
Yeah.
If you're normal, you're probably very boring, and you're probably, without being aware of it, being controlled by everything that's going on around you.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So be weird, people. If you're watching this, go be weird. Go in public and just start laughing about nothing, and just watch what happens. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
You don't even need to go out there and be like, oh guys,
No.
I'm so weird.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta don't be afraid of judgment. And I say that
Yeah.
as somebody who worries about being judged. But if you're worrying about judgment, that means you're conforming to what you think other people want out of you.
Yeah.
And if you can get over that, because you should have some degree of normalness, you should be able to function as a human being.
Of course. Yeah, for
You know.
sure.
You should be able to walk into a room and not have people scared of you. But
Yeah.
but you should also have the courage to have your honesty and not and have the courage to not be judged.
Yeah.
Or courage to be judged. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, right. I mean, I always tell people, and I always tell myself, whatever it is inside of you in that moment that's begging to be expressed, express it. You gotta get that shit out. Because every time that you want to say something or do something, and it's from your heart, and you don't do it, it's I believe that turns into bitterness and resentment, and that keeps you from living your fulfilled life. And it happens
Yeah.
all the time. I think it happens every day, and I believe even all of our structures in our society exist to have you not express yourself. In the corporate workplace, it's it's very rigid. You can't just say what you want, and then 9 to 5, that's 8 hours of your life every day, and so it's very easy to ascribe to that, and then that bleeds over into your your personal life. And I honestly believe that's why a lot of people, a lot of Americans, are very unhappy. Because they're doing this out of survival. It's the only way that people know to make money, and so they end up living these lives that really aren't what they want. It's not. If you went up to a lot of these people and asked them, hey, like, what did you want? What are your dreams, or what did you want to be when you were a kid? I guarantee you, it's not what they're doing now. And people don't like. They don't have any urgency about that. Like, it's like people just say, oh, that's how it is. And it's like, no. Because if everyone thinks that, then this continues. And all it needs, we don't even need everyone. We just need like a strong minority of people, of vocal people, to be saying, fuck this. And doing a conscious puppet show, or doing a talk show on Facebook, or
whatever
making
it
a
is.
band, and just whatever it is, however weird or however normal, however cool, like you just have to be living that, because then you can inspire people. More importantly, you can inspire yourself, and even if you don't succeed, like at least you lived a life that was true to your kid, that was true to your soul.
Yeah, I think something I would throw at you out of that is, let me contextualize this a little bit. Like, I grew up in in church, and I still go to church, and we don't have to dive too deep into that, if you don't want to. But something that always drives me, we can go there. Something that always drives me a little bonkers is when people get up in the pulpit and they say, you know what's wrong with the world today, or people are blank, 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 blank. So I think what I would throw to you is, you were just saying, like, people in America are unhappy, people are doing their 9 to 5. What is it about yourself that you could change in order to be a more fulfilled person? And I think religion as a whole is dying in society, because people love to tell other people what to do, but they don't want to change themselves.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, nobody's going to convert and be a Westboro Baptist. Like, it's just not going to happen.
No.
I don't know how that thing still exists, but I would hope that in my walk as a believer in God, that the example I set looks attractive versus me talking at people and be like, you got to do it my way. You have to do things my way,
Yeah.
So you, as a creative person and who wants to like liberate people and the revolution,
Viva la revolution! Yeah.
like, what can you do to be that happier person, to be that more creative person, to create a world for yourself that other people look at and say, he's doing something right. I want the juice he's drinking.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I mean, it's something that's very dear to me. I mean, ever since end of last year, beginning of this year, when I decided to become a dating coach and a creativity coach, I said, I don't just want to tell people what to do, because if I'm just telling people what to do and I'm not living it, they're gonna know, they're gonna smell that, because like we said earlier, like, people can smell your BS. People know when you're bullshitting them and when you're not being authentic. So, and of course, I come to TO-SPAY, I come to this, emotional intelligence, leadership training. And of course, my living vision, my contract for myself is that I am an authentic, heart-centered, and inspiring leader. And I mean, we wrote it down, and now it sits on a poster above my closet. Well, technically it's Sasha's closet in Chicago, so I can wake up every morning and I can read that. Because it's like, I do believe that my success comes from living that. And what does that look like? It looks like, in my relationship, with Sasha, it always being authentic, being heart-centered. Even if we disagree on things, it means, I'm gonna come from my heart. I'm going to be honest. and inspiring, which means that, I'm not going to be codependent. It means I'm going to be going after my dreams. It means I'm driving out to Colorado and living out here for like 4 weeks because I feel called to do so, because I feel like it's my soul mission. But also, and this is what I teach now in I have a mindful improv meetup group in Chicago. And so I teach improvisation and I combine it with breath work and mindfulness and meditation practices. And one thing I teach, and it's the one thing that I try to do every day, is with every interaction I have with every person in my life, no matter if they're a friend or a stranger, I make it meaningful. When I say, "How are you doing?" I mean it. And I really, and if they just go good, I say, "Hey, like, what's going on in your life?" And I really try to push to have those deeper connections with people, because I believe that's how we create this better world. In my ideal world, everyone really genuinely cares about people. Because in a world, I think, filled with love instead of ruled by fear, we have community. We care about our neighbors. We care about strangers. We trust. We trust each other, and we trust ourselves. And so it's like, how do I teach that? Obviously, I can do it through coaching, but it's like I have to live it. It's really important to me that I live that contract, because otherwise, I'm just a phony, and I don't want to be a phony. I want to be the real deal, and I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. And I hope that by doing that, people get inspired, and maybe they get curious about other people, and then they get compassionate, and they, it has to come from you. It really has to flow from you in every moment of your life. And, are you going to fail? Yeah. Are there going to be times when I'm tired and maybe don't want to connect with people like that? Sure. But the difference is you have to always come back to it. You always come back to your vision, and you have to live it as much as you can.
There it is, folks.
Cool. Let's get back to you.
We solved everything.
We solved everything. Done. No, but let's, because we're kind of on this more personal topic now, and 'cause I think you got married last year. Am I correct? Was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, we've been married like a year and a half. So yeah.
Year and a half. Yeah. So, but that's like a new thing for you. And how has marriage changed your life? And what have you learned about relationships by being married?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question.
Is it?
Well, I will say that the common wisdom, I guess, is the first year of marriage is the hardest, and I thought it was pretty easy, and I think it's because we were older. We didn't get married when we were like 20, 21. Like we weren't still selfish kids, and I think that has a lot to do with easier first year of marriage, and I think we're also going to see a dip in divorce rates because people are waiting to get married. They're waiting on that commitment, and they're like really making sure they got somebody special. So that's been cool. It's kind of funny. Flip side of that is being independent for so long. I was straight up honest with Betsy very early on that I was like, it's going to be hard for me to think of my money as our money because I've been earning my own money for so long. And I make more than you do, so that's going to be hard for me. Well, as fate would have it, she gets a new job and suddenly she's making a lot more money than I am, and it's like, somebody's trying to teach me a lesson right now. So it's what else have I learned? Just communication over the silliest things, like just asking like, hey, there's only 2 slices of bread left. Did you want that, or can I have it? Like, because it's so frustrating when you come home and you're like, man, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then you get there.
Yeah, and it's
then
not there.
Those 2 pieces of bread that you knew were there are gone, you know.
It's the worst. Yeah, the leftovers.
It's
You're
the worst.
I've been dreaming of the leftovers all day, and then they're gone.
And
Yeah,
they're
it's the
gone.
worst.
Yeah, just communication, even about things that seem totally innocuous. Yeah. Do you have anything, a specific question about marriage? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Well, I love what you just said, because in my mind, like, to me, that's what mindfulness means. You know, because like the mind, like there's all this talk right now about like the mindfulness movement and mindfulness, and people think that mindfulness is like spending 6 hours a day meditating on a mat. And it's like, maybe, but I think really like it's more practical and it's much more simple. It's like exactly just saying like, hey, there's 2 pieces of bread left. Like that's a very mindful thing to do. Mindfulness, I think at its core, all it is being aware of people and of what you're doing and how you affect others and how others affect you, and being authentic in your communication with those people. I think that's, you guys want to know what mindfulness is? That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's thinking of someone else first, you know, before you're selfish. That's how I define mindfulness.
And that's why I believe that like improvisation to me like is the religion of the future. It's religion without dogma, because by improvising, you're learning like the golden rule. You're learning to listen to people. You're learning to express yourself. You know, you're learning to communicate. You're learning to be silly and have fun. You're learning yes and. You're, you know, and how to not judge people. You're learning that everyone's a genius. And I believe, you know, that's such a powerful thought. Because if you approached every stranger in the world as if they were a genius, you're going to have the most amazing conversations. You're going to make so many friends. And it's like, it can really be that simple. It's just this little shit. It's like, because we were like, oh, stranger is scary. And it's like, no, stranger is genius. That doesn't mean you're overly trusting, but that means you approach people with an openness. And you ask them really like interested questions, because people love talking about themselves. And people will really surprise you if you give them a chance.
Yeah. I know that's something I always struggle with. I'm a very private, not as socially awkward as I was person. So meeting new people is still kind of a scary thing. So it's definitely something I can work on. But. Yeah,
and it's funny because in our first weekend of the leadership training, we did this like personality test, and we divided up the whole kind of class into four types of people, and it was controllers, analyzers, promoters, and supporters. And I scored a 61 in the promoter category, which, you know, that's like very social, life at the party, which is funny though, because I feel like if I took that test 5 years ago, I would have probably been more like you. I was way more analytical back then. You know, I studied history, I wrote analytical essays every week, I loved analyzing music and art. But I was very stuck in my head, you know, because I think that's the thing with analyzers is like we're so up here, and I think it's great to be up here, but like, you know, when we're face to face with people, I think like to me the promoter energy is so much more powerful because it's contagious, and you know it's just being present, I think. And I think a lot of like social anxiety and just anxiety in general, even from kind of what I've read on it and what I've experienced, because I used to have social anxiety. I used to be very bad with women, but also like I used to get so nervous at parties. And I realized that was because I was scared of judgment, but also it's like instead of just feeling people and being like, I'm feeling this, I'm gonna go say it. What would happen was I would see someone or like I would have this thought, but then instead of just getting it out, it completely bypasses, and then it goes into my head, and it's like, oh God, she's gonna hate that, or oh, they're gonna think I'm weird, and then it just goes and goes, and it's like every time that happens, it's like you end up reinforcing that kind of behavior, that mental model.
Yeah.
And again, that's where I think why improvisation is so great, because it teaches you to come up with an idea and then immediately act on it. You know, it's like, can I get a suggestion? Thank you. And then you do a whole show. You don't think about it, you just go. And it's like if you took that mindset, I think, into every social interaction you had, now there's no time for analyzing. Now you're just in it. And now you might go up to them and say this thing, and they might be like, who are you? And like, fuck it. At least you did it. And you can, go on to the next person. Or, I don't know. That's my whole thing, even like with my book that I say. It's like you're sending out messages to people, and you're just kind of like, you're like pinging them. You're like, here's me. And some people might be like, what are you throwing at me? But the people, like, it's like you're a satellite, and the people who you want to hang out with and the people who are going to like be influential in your life, you're going to ping them and they're going to go, oh, fuck yeah, hell yeah, dude. And it's like, we found each other, yay. And that's like a relationship, but that's also like a friendship and everything. But I think it takes the courage to just really express yourself. And I think people are scared to do that because of the judgment and because, we're scared of how we'll be received. But ultimately though, it's like when you do this, like you're not gonna die. The worst thing that's gonna happen is someone's gonna
you get kidnapped and they stab you. And then
and then they blackmail you, and then they blackmail your family.
No. and then you're never heard from again.
And then you're never heard from again. Exactly, right? Yeah, but I think that's like what actually runs through. People believe that.
Yeah, Alex
People
Scott
believe
gets
that
it.
if they express themselves. Yeah, precisely, Alex. You guys, if you're watching and you have social anxiety, press like. We want to hear
But if
from
you're too
you.
anxious to do it, don't do it.
If you're too anxious, don't even bother. Alex says those Muppets are tight too. Yeah, let's talk about the show. We have some puppets. Maybe you can talk about each of them, because I know them, but our audience doesn't, and there's some new ones behind you that I've seen them in their episodes, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, so this is from Sajja and Kabba, the kid show I run. There we go. So this is Sajja. He's voiced by, or performed by, you don't say voiced by, you say performed by Billy Jones. This is Kabba, that's performed by me. This is Frumpy, he's got this cool blinking mechanism here, so he can like open and close his eyes. I perform most of these, so I'll just stop saying that. That's Earl. He's super fun. He's definitely an alter ego. This is one of the first guys I ever made. He's not part of the show, but I wanted to put him up here just for old time's sake. Yeah. Hi, how's it going? Got any questions for me, Michael?
Yeah. Wait, what was your name again?
Oh, I'm Fred.
Fred. Yeah, Fred. What do you love most about life, Fred?
Oh, there's just so much to see and so much to do, and you can just Google it, and you don't have to actually do it.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. If you want to go to Italy, you don't have to you don't have to actually go to Italy. You can just put it in Google Maps, and then boom, there you are.
Wow.
And now they got VR headsets, so it's like, and then you put on the VR headset, and you're just walking around and looking at Venice, but from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I can tell that you're someone who really embraces technology, Fred.
Oh yeah, I just got a bachelor's in computer science and a master's in computer engineering, so yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
So that's Fred.
Amazing.
It's going to be hard to get him back
that.
on the pole, so I won't do it.
No
you know what?
worries.
This is fun. Let's just keep doing like.
Yeah, let's keep going. I like this. This is really fun, and then the audience kind of gets to see.
And Alex is loving it, so.
He is. Yeah, he's loving it. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you on Sajja and Kabba, Alex, for sure. We'll do a collaboration.
So, this is Kabba. He's very. Let me get his hand on too. 1 second. Kabba is part of the show, Sajja and Kabba, and he's very innocent and he loves to learn. He loves taking care of his buddy Sajja, who I will not do tonight because I don't perform Sajja. But here we go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Kabba.
I can see myself. Oh, I see you too. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. What's happening?
How are you doing today, Kabba?
He can see me? Yeah, he can see you. Oh, hello, Michael. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Hi.
You guys have had some really exciting episodes recently, and I even saw one that's not released. You and Sajja went to space.
Yeah, don't say it so loud. Don't say it so loud. We went to outer space. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's a secret. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm very excited to share it. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, Kabba, you're so cute.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh, thank you. I didn't do anything with my hair today, but thank you. Yeah.
You really are a good buddy.
You good buddy.
No, you good buddy.
You good buddy.
No, you good buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So this is your show?
Yeah, this is the Michael Boothby show.
Oh, that's fun. You just talk to people?
Yeah, I talk to
Oh.
people. I talk to puppets now too. It's really cool.
What's a puppet?
Ooh, this is gonna get kind of meta.
Oh. I don't know what a
So,
puppet is. What's a puppet?
a puppet is
Say it.
it's a creature that it's controlled by a human, but also has a life of their own.
Oh, so politicians. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Exactly. Yeah, politicians
Yeah.
are puppets.
Oh,
Wow, you're
you-
very bright, Kabba.
oh, I read books. Thank you.
That's good.
You want to
It's
meet?
good
You
to
want to
read
meet more
books.
people? You want to meet more people?
I do. Yeah, I would love
We
to.
got Sajja. We got Lil Gao. Travis doesn't do that one. That's Michael Gao.
Right.
And we got Frumpy. We got Earl. Okay, so I'm gonna go down. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that was Kabba.
Yeah.
And,
Let's do Frumpy.
Sasha is asking for Frumpy.
Yeah, she is.
This one takes a second to get on. What is this? Whoa! Where's Michael?
Hey, Frumpy.
Oh, hi.
How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going pretty good, you know. I was just chilling over there on that pole, and now here I am. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my girlfriend Sasha has a question for you. She asked, "What's your favorite pastime, Frumpy?"
Oh, I love to dream. I love to dream up wild stories, and I love to sleep and dream. I love to be awake and dream, and I love to. Whoa! Somebody said pole dancer. Whoa!
That's a dream.
I don't dream. Well, that's some people's dream. It's not mine. No way. No way.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're so interested in dreams because I think dreams are really powerful.
Yeah, they are powerful. You know, nobody really knows why we dream. Isn't that true? But
Yeah.
some people think it's something about the way your brain is processing information. So it's a window into how you're currently feeling, and to how you're currently thinking about things.
I love that. Oh, Sasha also asked, "What was your favorite dream?"
Oh. Well, one time I had a dream that I was riding a giraffe, but it was in the middle of New York City. Yeah.
Wow.
And one time I had a dream that I was on an island full of dinosaurs, and that one happened after I watched Jurassic Park. So
Ooh, I can see that.
that might not be like the best example of a dream, but it was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Does
That's
it look
fun,
like
though.
I'm chewing like a cow?
A little bit. Have you ever been a cow in your dreams?
Nope, not yet. I keep waiting for the day, but maybe now that we had this conversation, I will.
Maybe it'll happen.
Yeah. We'll just lock that away in there.
Yeah, yeah.
What was your favorite dream?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. My favorite dream. I have a hard time remembering my dreams.
Oh, just like you. I never remember my dreams. Yeah.
Oh, we have another question. My friend Nick asks, "What's your favorite movie, Frumpy?"
Oh, my favorite movie? Not coming up with something funny to say. Oh, Inception. I love that
Ooh,
movie.
I could see that being on your favorites for sure.
Yeah, because it's a dream within a dream within a dream. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
There's wild stuff. Wild stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I co-wrote that
Wow.
with Christopher Nolan. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm
see,
one of the
not many
writers
people
on that
know
movie.
that. Not many people know.
Nope.
Frumpy.
If you go to my IMDb, it says uncredited. Yeah.
Wow. Could you get me in touch with Christopher Nolan? He's one of my favorite directors.
Oh yeah, I'll just I'll give you his email when we're done here. Yeah.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. You ready to meet? I guess Earl's the only one left. You ready to meet Earl?
Yeah. Let's talk to Earl, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right. Great talking to you guys. Thanks for the questions.
Yeah. Thanks, Frumpy.
Okay. Yeah, Frumpy's a new one. But he's turned out
like
to be
him.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So Earl was also one of my earlier puppets to be made. And I think I mentioned earlier, he's a kind of a piece of me more than any of the others. Yeah. What's going on? What is this?
Hey, Earl. This is Facebook Live.
Facebook Live. What? You got the headphones in. I can't hear what he's saying. Just. What? What'd you say?
This is we're on Facebook Live right now.
Facebook Live. Oh, what happened to Facebook dead, huh? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Earl. Can you
What?
Can you tell me about the good old days?
Oh, the good old days. Let me tell you. Well, I was born in 1655, and we ran everywhere by horse-drawn carriage. It's true. And I've seen all the world's greatest events. Well, after 1655, but life was simpler then. You went to the bathroom in the backyard. You picked your food straight out of the ground, and there weren't really any games. There was one with a hoop, and you just kind of hit it with a stick and kept it going. And you're like, oh, how long can I get that hoop to roll with my stick? It sounds like a lot more boring, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Sounds like it. Definitely a different time, but different.
But I
doesn't mean bad.
I love Farmville now. I love it.
Yeah?
Because it reminds me of my farming days. Yeah.
I like that.
Oh,
I like that a
good.
lot.
They said, peace out, dinner time. Dinner time? Oh, I love. I felt like I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh, kids these days can't remember what they were gonna talk about. Yeah.
What are you up to now, Earl? What's going on in your life?
Oh, let me think about that. Well, I'm doing the show, Sajja and Kabba. They have me tell a story every now and then, and
Oh, that's nice.
I'll take them out to the park sometimes, and we'll hang out, and well, now I just kind of, I watch TV, read books, hang out with friends, buy a cup of coffee at the diner and sit there for 3 hours, but still only tip $1. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool. I love that, And Sasha asks, what's some advice for the kids, Earl?
Some advice for the kids. They wouldn't listen to me anyway, but if I were to tell them something, invest in plastic. It's not going anywhere.
Ooh.
Is somebody vacuuming over
That's
there?
true. Yeah.
Somebody vacuuming over there. Yeah.
Wow.
My right eye looks a little crooked, huh?
Yeah. The thing I love about you, Earl, is I feel like I can just sit in the silence with you and just appreciate the moment.
That's real advice. I'll give that advice. If you can take a moment just to sit and think and not worry about nothing, that leads to a long, happy life right there. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. You want to sit in some silence now?
I would love to sit.
You ruined it already. You ruined it. Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
These kids these days.
Oh.
It's really weird to see you not moving.
We have a question from Nick.
Huh?
He says, "How old are you, Earl? You have so much wisdom."
Oh. Well, let me tell you that wisdom and age don't have much to do with each other. You're going to meet a lot of dumb old people, I'll tell you that much. Well, I was told I was born in 1655, but after looking back, I don't know if I was actually born then, but they didn't issue me a birth certificate, so I can't be sure. Back then we really didn't pay attention to the calendar except for planting stuff and knowing when winter was. We didn't really count the years. One time 5 years passed, and I was like, holy cow, what a decade.
Wow. Yeah, time can just really fly by.
Shoo! There it goes.
Shoosh. There it goes.
Yeah. Bye, time.
By time, it was, where did you go?
Where did you go? I miss you so.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then we have a final question from Sasha.
Oh, final question.
We'll
Final
wrap
question.
this up.
Okay.
She said, "What's a fun fact about you, Earl? Something we don't know about yet."
Fun fact. Oh, well, it's coming out in a video soon, and you'll all know then, but I was among the first to walk on the moon. Yep.
Wow.
1969.
That's huge.
I was there. Apollo 11. You better believe it. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Landed
That's
right
huge.
there. Oh, it was a big deal back then. Had to beat the Ruskies, Had to beat the Ruskies to the moon. Yep. And don't believe what people tell you about the Stanley Kubrick character. No, sir. We did it for real. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Well, Earl, thank you so much for coming on the show and
You want to talk to him again?
entertaining our questions.
You want to?
Yeah, put Travis back on. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll see you later. Okay. Enjoy your time in Colorado. Let me just put the camera back
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah. So that was that.
Oh wow.
That was
so much fun.
That was so much fun. Yeah.
It's it's really cool to see the embodiment of these puppets, and it's even cooler every time I see them interacting with humans. They're starting to feel so real and genuine, and it's so exciting.
It's really cool. We're doing a lot of live interaction stuff, like yesterday's episode. The puppets talk to a real human who was colorblind. Next week, they go visit an optometrist's office, and like
Oh,
she
that's
just
so
puts them,
fun.
she like puts them through the exam, and then they're doing an event with Chicago kids band, the Lucky Trikes, and it's just really cool to see them interacting with the real world. And I hope for kids it just feels that much more playful and real and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Cool. Well, Travis, thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys,
Yeah.
if you want to support Travis, and you should, because he's a really cool guy doing really cool things, you can like and subscribe to Sajja and Kabba on YouTube, and that's going to have all of their episodes, all
And
of the
Facebook.
videos,
Yeah.
and Facebook. Like them on Facebook too. And we can feel free after this to go in the comments and add all the links. Feel free also to send me an email after this, and I'll add all the links to the YouTube video as well. And yeah, guys, definitely also check out the website, sajjaandkabba.com. They just recently started doing a weekly newsletter, which will have the videos, a blog post, and also keep you updated on the events that they're doing out in Chicago, in the Chicagolands. And it's really cool. I'm helping edit and writing some of the blog posts, and I'm so happy to be a part of this show.
Thanks for doing it. Yeah.
Thanks, Kabba. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. What? You're welcome. Thanks for having us.